So Hurricane Sandy, of course, was every climate scientist's nightmare come true. It was an incredible sort of never before intensity storm that happened in one of the densest places of habitation in the U.S. In the New York Metropolitan area. So it kind of, in some sense, really set a bar. It set a standard as to what can go wrong. And therefore it also set a bar as to what preparedness perhaps ought to look like. And it's that second thing, it's the opportunity and the adversity, if you will. And I know that it is an adversity for a lot of people who still don't have power. There are people who've lost their homes, and I don't mean to make light of any of that. However, I think that there may be in this disaster the makings of a long-term opportunity. And I think it's very critical in order for that to happen. It's very critical that we don't think of it as a one-time event. We don't think of it as something that's going to go wrong and be prepared just for that thing to go wrong and how to not let that happen. I think we have to think of it as a process. We have to think of it as a longer-term shifting of the paradigm. Things have changed. A lot of the infrastructure in that region, which was devastated because it was built quite nicely, quite well, because it's held up this long, but for a very different world. The Brooklyn Battery Tunnel, for instance, which was completely flooded, was designed in the 1930s. It started construction in 1940, when the water at the battery was a good, maybe a feet lower than what it's today. The kind of tropical weather systems, a cyclone system like, or a hurricane system like Sandy, was unheard of coming up that far north. So what has happened is the world has moved. That particular piece of infrastructure has not changed. So I think we have to think of this as an opportunity rather than an adversity. We have to think of it as not a one-time event that we're fixing for, but an ongoing process. And therein will lie not just a big a bill. It will take a lot of resources. It will be resource intensive, but I think if handled well, it'll not just be an adversity, but it'll also be an opportunity. It'll generate employment. It'll move the economy in a brand new direction, and there may yet be a silver lining to that very dark sandy cloud.